Hello and welcome to a brand new Nuzlocke series, this time in the Gen 3 ROM hack Pokemon Emerald Theta, which just so happens to be from the same ROM hacker who did Fire Red Omega, which was the first ROM hack I ever did a Nuzlocke series on. I honestly can't believe it's been a whole year and a half since the last Nuzlocke ended. If this one does alright, maybe I'll get on the next one a little bit quicker. This ROM hack, much like the Fire Red one, adds in loads of Pokemon that shouldn't be in Gen 3 and makes everything a little bit more difficult. But not to a mental degree, it's got a good balance of challenge and I will of course purposely be making things harder for myself to add to the drama. They also have messed around with the movesets of a lot of the Pokemon, which will be very helpful. And there's definitely some other things about it that I will get into as we go through this run. So let's cue the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip.
Oh Christ, I'm singing again.
What are the rules?
The two basic Nuzlocke rules are as follows. 1. If a Pokemon faints for any reason, it is considered dead and we must release it. 2. I can only catch the first Pokemon I come across in each new area, with a duplicates clause so that I don't end up with a squad of flying herpes. And to make things a bit more interesting, here's some of my extra hard mode rules to make things a bit more difficult on myself. 1. I will put my battle style to set so I cannot switch out my Pokemon after I defeat an enemy. 2. I will not use items in combat. 3. I will try to keep my levels about the same as the gym leader's Pokemon, so no crazy over leveling. 4. I will only be able to switch out party members once a Pokemon dies, so no picking out my favourites, I'm stuck with what I get. So these extra rules will make for entertainment for you lot and absolute agony and despair for myself.
Oh shit, here we go again.
But don't forget to get your comments in now, because as always from the second episode onwards I will be naming all of the Pokemon after you lot. So if you want to be a Pokemon that I get killed, comment down below telling me why you deserve that honour. Or be weird and funny, I like that as well. And goblins. Goblins are amazing.
Ew, I like them. I like goblins. Ah!
So this ROM hack starts like your typical Gen 3 run with us getting waffled at by hippie Abe Lincoln, and with us being able to pick our private parts.
You're fucking a white male!
And we are then chucked in the back of a moving truck heading for the start of the game like an immigrant trying to sneak over the border at Dover. Great parents we got. Well, to be fair, I think this might actually be the only Pokemon game where the protagonist doesn't have an oddly distant father. We then meet May, the queen of Rule 34, with her legion of simps who constantly make lewd fan art of her. You know you've made it when you have pregnant fetish fan art of yourself. You never have to wait that long.
For porn.
We then go to see May's father running in terror from a small cute raccoon dog thing.
Why are you gay?
And it is here that we finally get to pick a starter for this game, and I unsurprisingly picked the internet darling Mudkip. But I just want to say that I'm actually going to bother keeping the starter in this run, which is unusual for me. Sure, in the first run I kept the starter, but in the second run I got rid of it like the heartless bastard that I am. I mean, how could I get rid of this adorable little fella? I mean, just look at him. He's such a good boy.
Here's a Mudkip. Do you like it? Do you like Mudkips?
And I decided to name this Mudkip the great name of Kevin Bacon. Because I honestly don't know why. Maybe because I watched Tremors before I filmed this gameplay footage. Or maybe it's because I wanted to add another link to that game called 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I should probably explain that. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon is a game where you pick an actor and see if you can connect them to Kevin Bacon within 6 Wikipedia articles. I mean, the man has been so prolific that you could probably link him to Stalin's favourite ferret at this point. Alright, yeah, I was meant to be making a Pokemon video.
Fuck you!
Wow, this series is weird already. Good. And with my boy Kevin Bacon in hand, I headed off to the first route to see what Pokemon I can catch on this route. What is this, some sort of bloody joke? I don't have any Pokeballs yet anyway, so this doesn't count. Nah 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 nah. But after curb stomping May and her stupid lizard that I really hate for whatever reason, what can I say, I'm an angry man. We get given our first set of Pokeballs and the run has finally actually begun. So we head out of the building and finally get our running shoes. Without further ado, the first Pokemon I caught on the first route was a bloody Weedle. And I was absolutely ecstatic about this. Of course I would have made a joke about me definitely not cheating to get a Weedle to show up first, but this time he actually showed up first, which is amazing. And is there any doubt about what I'm going to be calling this buggy boy? Give it up for Bongzilla!
Stop! My penis can only get so erect.
And mark my words, this boy will for the first time survive a whole Nuzlocke run. I will make it so. Well, with the best Pokemon in existence caught, I went up to the route to the north and here I came across a Wingull. Now, I can't say I'm a massive fan of this Pokemon, or seagulls for that matter. I hate those little trash birds that literally eat anything. But at the end of the day, that's what a Nuzlocke is all about, I guess, using stuff you wouldn't usually use. And because I've been rewatching My Hero Academia lately, I decided to name this bird Tokoyami after the Birdman from that show. I swear, I'm not a weeb.
Persona!
You wonder why you don't have friends and you don't fit in.
With that out of the way, I went to Route 102 and here I caught a Lotad. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's the return of Carlos Santana from my first ever Nuzlocke run. This series is going to be like a reunion movie where everyone comes out of retirement for one last hurrah. And I of course named this bad boy Carlos Santana.
Hello, baby. Did you miss me?
Also, Santana is classified as a waterweed Pokemon. It's like a match made in heaven, baby. It was after this that I decided to level up the guys we've got up to this point of the run. Starting first with Bongzilla, who surprisingly came packing Bug Bite and learned Electro Web, which will be very helpful for our buggy hero to survive this run. And he of course evolved into his beautiful second form Kakuna. Then his perfect form, the Lord of all Bugs, Speedrill.
There was a ghost! There's ectoplasm!
And after getting everyone to about level 10, it is finally time to take on the first trainer, youngster Calvin, which Bongzilla showed his overwhelming strength to by absolutely steamrolling his whole squad on his own. And with all the weak trainers on this route crushed underneath Bongzilla's might, we have to move on to Petalburg City, where we go to meet the series' first dad, and he gets us to go help Wally catch his Rule 34 Pokemon partner. And we then get approached by a suspicious man who will be randomly following us the whole game.
I need an adult! I need an adult!
After the police were called, I headed over to Route 104 where we caught a Burmy, which might honestly be the most disappointing Pokemon we could have possibly got in this field, bar a Caterpie. And because her name kinda reminded me of the socialist meme that is Bernie Sanders, I called her Sanders. You get it? Bernie Sanders.
The American people are tired of women.
No, don't do it.
And it was up here against a trainer called Lady Cindy we got into a spot of trouble. Tokiyami was up against an Eevee and I may have misjudged how much damage it could deal out. And thankfully the Bug King came in to save the day and mopped up the rest of their squad. Well, that was a close one. I really need to start being more careful, don't I? Well, after this I thought I would head into Petalburg Woods to get myself another Pokemon, and here I caught a Shroomish, which is another Pokemon I had in my first Pokemon Nuzlocke all those years ago. This is really like the Nuzlocke version of the Expendables. Well, in honour of the Shroomish from my first run, I named this little fella Osric once more. Welcome back to the team, you grizzled veteran, you.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
And with Osric in the squad, that's my first 6 Pokemon locked in place that I cannot change until any of these guys die. Well, after this I headed through the forest and did the usual business with the Devon employee, and Santana evolved into his second form. And we are finally in Rossborough City, home of the first gym leader, Roxanne. But before we can take her on, we have 2 more Pokemon to catch. On Route 116 I caught a Eevee, which I'm really happy about, to be honest. Eevee is awesome. If he makes it into the squad, maybe you guys can argue in the comments about what evolution it will become. My favourite evolution is Espeon, which seems to be no one else's favourite. Anyway, at this point I was probably drunk or something, so I called this poor Eevee Efot. Because Eevee can take many forms like a sexy cosplayer, and it's usually a favourite of Fot's, I guess.
Wait, we saw this, right?
During the course of working my way to the last place where we can catch Pokemon for the gym leader, Mudkip evolved into his second form. F's in the chat for the good boy being gone. And in the cave we caught a Ghastly. And this could have been a full reunion because I had a Gengar in my last run, but I forgot about that because I'm dumb. So I named this Ghastly Papa after the singer from the band Ghost. You see what I did there?
Clever girl.
And with that, it was time to take on the first gym leader, Roxanne. She opens up proceedings with her Onix, and I unsurprisingly go with our boy Kevin Bacon. And this goes exactly as you would expect, with Kevin mercilessly destroying the Onix with a single Water Pulse. She then sends out an Anorith, which also suffers death at the hands of our waterbound terror Kevin Bacon with his almighty Water Pulse. Next she sent out a Lileep. And unfortunately for us, the crusty barnacle actually survives a Water Pulse. And it responds with a Constrict that literally does 1 damage to Kevin Bacon.
What a story, Mark.
And Bacon piles on the pressure with another Water Pulse, getting its health into the yellow and confusing it in the process. The stupid urchin hits itself in confusion, which suits us down to the ground. But then she heals it back up to decent health with a potion. And after 2 more Water Pulses, the Lileep finally succumbs to its inevitable death at the hands of Kevin Bacon. And let me just save you some time. Water Pulse, dead. Water Pulse, dead. Water Pulse, dead. And we beat the first gym with relative ease.
Well, I'm right f***ed, aren't I?
Right in the down under.
Well, with the first gym out of the way, I headed to the cave to again deal with the Devon employee and his Team Aqua problem. And as with every Gen 3 run, we go help Mr. Briny save his Pokemon wife from the clutches of Team Aqua. And during this battle, some mischief went down with Burmy versus a Puccina. But luckily Senator Sanders survived the attack and our boy Carlos Santana saw out the victory with no deaths. After this we received the phone from the Devon Corp leader.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting a skinny cappuccino latte! Molto grando!
And then I got into a battle with our rival May, which I was not prepared for because I thought it would be no big deal. but it was.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
And she first sent out Italo and I sent in Bernie Sanders, which was a bit of a cock-up on my part. And what was a further cock-up was me not instantly switching out Bernie because I thought they could easily take a hit.
No, Bernie Sanders, we barely got to know you, my friend.
Kevin Bacon, murder this git. Bongzilla, finish this squad off with your power, my son. Well, that was a bit of a downer to end the first episode on, but you've got to get used to the fact that Pokemon are going to die on a Nuzlocke, I guess.
Yeah, people are gonna die.
Goodbye, Bernie. May you rest in peace, my friend. Let's have some F's in the chat for Senator Bernie Sanders, boys.
You're my boy, Blue!
And with Bernie gone, I had 2 Pokemon to choose from, so I went for Efort because I've already had a Gengar in my last run. Get down in the comments and argue about which evolution I should make this boy, if it'll even make it that far with me as its trainer. And also make sure you get your comment in asking to have a Pokemon named after you, because the next episode is when all the Pokemon will begin being named after you lot. But anyway, that does it for the first episode of the Pokemon Emerald Theta Nuzlocke. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.